Another A-Day game is headed our way from Tuscaloosa on Saturday. This one, of course, the first one since 2006 without one Nick Saban and his pink suit at Bryant-Denny Stadium. We got Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama, and of course, the show that you need to lock in on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, 6:30 Central. Stephen, how you doing today?
Doing great, Mark. We got a big weekend right here, A-Day weekend for your Crimson Tide. Going to be Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time from Bryant-Denny. You got ESPN for this matchup, the first one in the Kalen DeBoer era. Just so much excitement, whether it was Nick Saban in the lemon suit or Nick Saban in the lightning baby blue blazer suit, whatever suit Nick Saban chose to have on for A-Day. It was always a fashion statement, but like you mentioned, Mark, for the first time since 2006, it will not be Nick Saban. Brand new man, so we'll have to see what the fashion selection of Kalen DeBoer will be. But a lot of the fans excited for the new era here of Alabama football starting off in the spring game.
And so this first edition of Kalen DeBoer's team, of course, gets to see the public, and the public gets to see them for the first time. I know that offensive line is a key spot that you're going to be reviewing, and what are you looking out for there?
Definitely the offensive tackle position, Mark. The interior play has been strong all spring. When you look at Tyler Booker at left guard, right guard Jaden Roberts at that center position, James Brockermeyer, the former four-star in the 2021 class from Fort Worth, Texas, has won that job at that center position. So your interior seems to be fine. The outside guys, your two tackles, that's the position that my eyes will be on. At that right tackle spot, Wilkin Formby, the former four-star in the 2023 class from Northridge High School here in Tuscaloosa, has seemed to really emerge at that right tackle position, taking that spot for the departed J.C. Latham, who's headed to the NFL draft here upcoming in the latter portion of this month. And then at left tackle, you got Elijah Pritchett, somebody who has experience playing at offensive tackle. He's been getting work at that spot with the first team throughout the spring. So Elijah Pritchett and Wilkin Formby, two people I will keep my eyes on in the A-Day game to see how they work there at both tackle spots.
Stephen, if only we knew what was going through the mind of one Caden Proctor right now. So, of course, transferring back home to Iowa after the Rose Bowl game within a few weeks after that, and now supposedly headed back to Alabama. So that is the understanding of most, is that he is headed back to the Crimson Tide. Now, the portal opens back up next Monday, and we shall see what he truly follows through on.
That's the biggest speculation right now, Mark, is what happens with Caden Proctor. Came as a five-star from Iowa to Alabama in the 2023 class, went through some struggles early on at left tackle, but he grew throughout the season, got better throughout the year, helped this program win an SEC championship in what would become Nick Saban's final season, helped the team get a berth in the college football playoff, got him to that Rose Bowl there against Michigan despite the disappointing 20-27 overtime loss. Of course, when Nick Saban announced his decision to retire on January 10th, that shocked everybody. Caden Proctor, like a lot of people, decided, hey, will this place be the same without Coach Saban? Let me test the waters, go elsewhere to find a different home in college football. So he goes back home to Iowa, which nobody really disappointed by that, because Nick Saban retiring, you can see where emotions would lead for you to go elsewhere. So Caden Proctor goes back home, kind of started to figure out that maybe home is not where I need to be here at this time. And you got the speculation that came out of he wants to come back to Alabama. He wants to return to Tuscaloosa. He wants to enter his name in the transfer portal to come back. So you had all of that noise going out there. But right now, Proctor has not put his name in the portal. As you mentioned, Mark, the portal reopens back up April 15th, next Monday, 2 days after the spring game, and all eyes will be on that to see if Mr. Proctor holds true on the speculation and enters his name into the portal to make that move to potentially come back to Tuscaloosa. If he does so, then you look at that left tackle position, there's a battle there again between Elijah Pritchett and Caden Proctor. If Proctor chooses to not return to Alabama, then Pritchett hones in on that spot there at left tackle. So the speculation will take an all-time high next Monday as we wait to see, does Mr. Proctor hold true on that statement or on the speculation of re-entering back into the portal and possibly returning to the Crimson Tide?
Folks, please subscribe to our SEC channel and please give us a like if you enjoy the content. Get on over to Steven's show. It's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on YouTube, 6:30 Central. It's the time and the place to be again right here on YouTube, in my own words with Steven. Steven, as you survey the rest of the offense and even to the other side of the line of scrimmage on defense, what are the other position battles that, and just to reiterate to people and underline this, because so much focus is put on the spring games that like this is like a real game or something. This is one of 15 sessions. The only thing that makes it special is people are able to see it.
The A-Day game, people, is a formality. This is a time for the fans to catch up with old friends, old colleagues, old family members, and just take in to take in a full body of 15 practices of work. This does not mean that if this person goes off, dominates the A-Day game, that they are the concrete starter. It does not mean that. It does not mean that if somebody has a terrible A-Day game, oh my goodness, they are god-awful. It does not mean that. This is just one practice of 15 sessions of an entire body of work. So this is still a part of the evaluation period. Now, where it matters is when fall camp comes in, and that's 2 to 3 months down the road. When we get into August practice, that's where it begins to matter. That's where it begins to, you start to see the guys that become the starters or become the marquee contributors in the rotation. So spring football, it's a formality, payment value. Fall camp is where it really, truly matters.
That said, Steven, what other positions besides offensive line will pique your interest on Saturday, both sides of the football?
Well, first and foremost, the wide receiver position will definitely pique my interest just due to you haven't had that wide receiver room to just be dominant since the room of Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, John Mechie, that group in 2019. That was a very elite group right there. So you haven't had one since that group. But you look at Kobe Prentice in this group, Kendrick Law in this group, Emmanuel Henderson in this group. You got Jeremy Bernard, the transfer from Washington, in this group. You've recently moved Caleb Odom from tight end to wide receiver. So now he's in this group. Of course, Jalen Hale, we hate that he went down with a significant knee injury in spring ball, and hopefully Alabama will be able to get him back for fall camp and, most importantly, the upcoming season here. But you have a talented wide receiver room, but who becomes the number one guy? And I'm looking forward to seeing that in the A-Day game. Who can make those plays that a number one receiver makes? And so far, Kobe Prentice has been the star throughout spring. When you look at the routes that he has, the dependable hands that he's got, the speed, he's always been that burner type of receiver coming from Camara High School in the 2022 class. So Kobe Prentice has a lot to show. Kendrick Law has a lot to show. Emmanuel Henderson has a lot to show. So for me, it's going to be in that wide receiver room offensively, who emerges as that number one guy. Defensively, my eyeballs will be on the defensive line. There is so much talent on this group up front, but rotation-wise, Mark, who can make some noise, break into that rotation? We know the older guys, your Jaheim Otises, your Jamarian Lathams, your Tim Smiths, Tim Keenans. We know those guys. When you talk about Damon Payne, Curtis Perry, James Smith, Keon Keeley, Jordan Renard, Steve Mboa, who came in this recent class here, Isaiah Faga, Jeremiah Beeman, these young kids who can break that rotation and get some marquee playing time coming into the upcoming fall. So this defensive line and turning those big men loose to create havoc to the quarterback as well as stop the run, because going into a 4-2-5 swarm under Coach Kane Womack, a lot of things are going to be put on that four-man front. And can that four-man front create big-time havoc? My eyes will be on the defensive line.
And, of course, Stephen, Will Reichard's old spot is up for grabs as well.
It is. The kicking job's up for grabs, right? It's crazy, Mark, to think about that. After 5 years of just pure consistency from Will Reichard, you knew when the ball came off his foot, it was going to go through the goalpost there. And so the all-time leader for points in NCAA history headed off to the NFL draft. So many pro teams will be looking to see which one can call his name off the board here the latter portion of this month. But you've got Connor Talty and Upton Belafont competing here for the job to fill in the void left behind by Reichard. Both guys had a great scrimmage on yesterday, Saturday over the weekend, making several kicks out there for the Crimson Tide. But this A-Day game will be the first time where fans will get a look to see the kicker position. Both guys extremely talented. Talty came into that 2023 class, one of the top guys in terms of the Coles kicking campsite, the Chris Saylor kicking campsite. So going to be fun to get our eyes there on that position. Me personally, I think Connor Talty will take it just due to the amount of time he spent around Reichard this past season. But going to be fun to watch these two, Belafont and Talty, which one can take over that mantle left behind by Reichard.
Folks, please subscribe to our SEC channel in particular, like the video, and of course, get on over to In My Own Words every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6:30 Central right here on YouTube with Stephen. And most importantly, Stephen, are you going to get fed?
That's the big thing here. That's the most important thing. Now, I've been looking into a bit of the food menus. I think DeBoer's got it right here. I think DeBoer's got it right. So when I walk in there, hopefully I'm not being tricked. It's a good meal, but I think DeBoer's got it right.
Okay. We'll be awaiting that report back on that, Stephen.
Absolutely.
This is how many years for you at A-Day?
So this has been since 2011 now, Mark. This is my 16th one. This is 16.
Nice. So enjoy. I hope you get the main course you're looking for, the sides, and then you can top it off with your dessert selection as well.
Absolutely. And then the thirst refresher, little blue Powerade. Little blue Powerade for the thirst quencher.
Stephen, enjoy. We appreciate you stopping by as always, sir.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys, Mark.